Hi everyone, I'm Cosmin, and today on Dessertophilia, I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful ruby chocolate tea cake without any added sugar. Ruby chocolate is my personal favorite type of chocolate. It's the fourth type of chocolate after dark, white and milk chocolate. Its beautiful matte pink color is completely natural, and it's the result of the unique climate conditions in which the cocoa beans are grown. And these climate conditions are only met in a few places in the world, such as the Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Brazil. What's so fascinating about ruby chocolate for me is that it's naturally sweet and tart, reminding of a velvety, creamy, buttery white chocolate with ripe cherries and fresh forest fruit. I don't know how to describe it in any other way. You have to try it. And now, why do I call it a tea cake? That's because I use tea in the cake base. Rooibos tea is my favorite type of tea, and I think that with its earthy, mellow aroma, it's an excellent match for ruby chocolate. And of course, you can serve this beautiful dessert with a freshly brewed cup of rooibos tea. Let's get to it. Melt 150 grams of ruby chocolate callets with 75 milliliters of whipping cream over a water bath. Keep the flame low and give it some time. It'll happen. Be very careful not to overheat it or you'll lose the beautiful shade of pink. To avoid this, cut the heat when you can still see small bits of chocolate. Keep the bowl on the steam and keep stirring. You'll have a beautiful ganache in no time. Remove the bowl from the steam and then add 225 milliliters of whipping cream. Start mixing from the center in small circles until you have a perfectly smooth and very fluid ruby chocolate ganache. Cover the ganache with plastic wrap directly on the surface to avoid the dreaded pudding skin and then refrigerate it for at least 6 hours. Bring 100 milliliters of full-fat milk to a simmer. Move it constantly to avoid it from sticking to the bottom of the pot. When it simmers, add 2 teaspoons of rooibos tea. Stir it in. Cut the heat and then cover the pot with a heatproof bowl containing 75 grams of ruby chocolate. Let it steep for 5 minutes and then pour it through a strainer over the chocolate. You can see the beautiful color from the rooibos tea. Stir gently until you obtain a fluid ganache. If the chocolate doesn't melt, you can microwave it in 5-second intervals. Now put 180 grams of very soft butter in the bowl of a stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. To it, add 150 grams of erythritol and start the mixer on low speed. After 1 or 2 minutes, increase the speed and then stop the mixer and scrape the paddle and the bowl. Then start the mixer on medium speed and add 3 eggs, one at a time. Stop the mixer, scrape the bowl after each egg. You'll have a very lumpy mass. That's perfectly fine. Now it's time to add the ruby ganache. It should be slightly warm. And after scraping the bowl and paddle one last time, add 150 grams of all-purpose flour, 5 grams of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Start the mixer on medium speed for about 30 seconds, then stop it, scrape the bowl, and then start it again on medium-high speed for another 30 seconds. It's very important not to keep it on longer than that because we're not making bread, so we don't want any gluten to develop. Incorporate whatever remaining flour by hand and work very fast, keep it under a minute. Then put the cake batter in a buttered Marianne pan and use your spatula to level it. I switched to an offset spatula because it was easier for me. Tap the pan against your work surface a couple of times to release any air bubbles, and then bake the cake at 170 Celsius for 30 minutes. Let the cake cool down in the pan for 30 minutes and then invert it on your serving platter. If it doesn't fall off immediately, just wait a few seconds. Then lift the pan and there is your beautiful Marianne tea cake. And now it's time to make another ganache. This time 75 grams of ruby chocolate and 75 milliliters of whipping cream. Pour the warm ganache in the cavity of the cake. Level the ruby ganache with an offset spatula. This is where a cake wheel really shines. Then take the first ganache out of the fridge and peel away the plastic. And then start the mixer, first on low speed for about a minute and then on high speed for 3 to 4 minutes depending on your mixer's power. After 3 to 4 minutes you will feel the ganache is very thick and compact. You can stop the mixer and do the test. If it looks like this, you're good to go. If not, whip it for another minute or so. I'm using 2 piping bags fitted with identical tips, just in different sizes. You can see how sturdy and stable the ganache is. Start piping from the center of the cake using the larger tip. And then alternate between the bags to create a pattern you like. To create a little contrast and bring out that beautiful shade of pink, I'm using a few fresh red currants. And to show that this is a ruby chocolate cake, just a few ruby chocolate callets. The ruby chocolate tea cake slices perfectly. To create a beautiful plated dessert, pipe some ganache next to the slice and decorate it. Enjoy! If you like this recipe, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Until next time, Dessertophiles!